Start recording, yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Well, I can't because the more I think about it, the more I figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so the way we have the setup right now, it reminds me of the show where Tim Allen is on, and it's Tim the Toolman Taylor. It's the best way. It's the best way I can. What's the name of that show?
I was thinking about it, I have no idea, but like I'm looking at you right the same way.
Yeah,
like
it's his neighbor.
His neighbor looking over the face.
Tim the Toolman Taylor. I know
what
that.
Was it English? Something that has to do with like
repair,
everything. We have all those words. I have all those words in my head.
Tool Time. Tool Time was the name of the show.
That was the name of the show.
Yeah, in the show. Yeah. What's the show called? Home Improvement. God damn it,
Of course,
dude!
like
I fucking knew it.
the one department in every store.
I was thinking of every possible tool and thinking that the name of the show was based off of a tool. You know, I was like ratchet, hammer, saw, screw, but no, it's Home Improvement. That's
Home
what
Improvement.
It fucking is.
It's all together.
It's all together. Yeah, it's the department. No, but this setup exactly looks like that. This setup.
This is
Wilson. It's we're just both.
This
Wilson
is how
right
we're looking. Like I'm looking it right in the eyes.
Yeah, that's
Nice,
That's great.
nice. This is also our social distancing walls that we have built up here right now.
Yeah.
Soundproof,
Soundproofing, COVID-proof.
we're right there. Yeah, we got everything.
It also I have a little battleship menu here too. So B7, Mike, you gotta put
B7?
Yeah, you gotta go ahead and put that on there. Did I sink your ship? Did I sink your frigate?
You and my heart.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Goddamn Tool Time.
All right. So welcome to the Red Lodge podcast, guys. This is our second episode, and we are really excited to talk about a few things. Today we have... What do we have today?
We have the discussion of directors. I think it's a topic we've been incredibly excited about. But also, I just want to let you guys know that the Red Lodge podcast is brought to you by Capital Broadcast Network. We're finally here in the studios. We're recording, and we're excited to get this going. But we have an incredible lineup of directors. Mike, I know you absolutely are in love with J.J. Abrams, and I knew he was going to make it to the top of your list.
You got something wrong there. Very wrong.
I'm excited to talk about George A. Romero, the director that really set everything off for me. That was my favorite. Yeah.
Back in the days, I had the special edition DVD for Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is definitely like...
Yeah.
George A. Romero was back in the days was really good. I love his stuff, especially because of like some very iconic movies. But overall,
his
like
newer stuff is
this newer stuff is very questionable.
It's
what was
awful.
it? Day of the Dead? Was it the new one?
No.
No.
He had Land of the Dead. No, Day of the Dead was remade. Day of the Dead was remade, but it wasn't a George A. Romero approved. Essentially, I mean, yeah, they based it off the screenplay, but George A. Romero had nothing to do with it. They did put Day of the Dead on Netflix. Pretty bad. I thought it was awful.
That one in Los Angeles where it's surrounded with the fence.
There was what the hell? No, I didn't hear that. No, that's no. I didn't hear that. That sounds like the worst combo. A zombie that rapes you just sounds incredibly uncomfortable. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, for sure. That's like a nightmare, dude.
Was with
he had Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and then he had Survival
Land of the Dead was the one that I didn't like.
Land of the Dead was a mainstream one that hit theaters. Yeah, that was sad. That one had
that was the one where they went through the water.
Leguizamo. Water, and then the firework truck, and then that one was bad. That one was really bad. And then he did Survival of the Dead. Diary of the Dead he did as well, and then
Diary of the Dead. I didn't even know this.
It was a found footage. It was a found footage of the dead.
Oh.
And I'm not here to talk about those. No, I know those are in his filmography, but his original ones will always be. And the Crazies too. He did the Crazies, which was I watched the original.
I always forget that he did that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. And I watched the original Crazies, and it was pretty much exactly what the new Crazies was as. But of course, 80s, 70s, 60s type style, but it was It was great, yeah. And so you had JJ, and who else you said? You had Coen Brothers?
Coen Brothers, yes.
Beautiful. I've seen No Country for Old Men. That's the only Coen Brothers I've been saturated in. Yeah.
The Big Lebowski?
I did see The Big Lebowski. That was them too.
Yeah,
really weird.
Yeah,
really
no,
weird.
they made a lot of really good movies.
Their frequencies. Fargo. Never seen Fargo.
You have
I've
the
never
movie.
seen
You've
Fargo.
never seen.
Never seen Fargo.
Never seen the show.
Never seen the show. I know the show is at FX, right? FX. Fargo was on FX.
Does it matter now? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
you gotta
never
watch
seen
that
it.
movie. It's
Never seen Fargo.
absolutely amazing. But pretty much almost everything that they're doing is really amazing. I mean, I watched Hell Caesar too, but that was definitely from the newer movies one of the lower movies.
I remember seeing a lot about Hail Caesar. The commercials, I mean, is trailers I've seen so much about. George Clooney, right?
Hail Caesar is also with George Clooney, I think.
Yeah, George Clooney. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Burn After Reading. Have you seen that?
Burn After Reading. That's who's in that? I think
George Clooney.
George Clooney's in that. Oh.
John Malkovich.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen
Brad Pitt.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen posters. I think that's why it sounds familiar.
That's really disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not in Coen Brothers territory like you.
The what?
Burn After Reading. Was it like a comedy CIA type thing?
It is a comedy CIA kind of thing, and it
Men Who
is,
Stare at Goats. Do you do that?
I've seen it, but that's not Coen Brothers.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. I really like the movie.
Yeah.
I really like that movie for sure, with the Jedi military training in the 80s.
Yeah. It could have worked. I feel like that could have worked.
Yeah, they should have just kept going with it.
So the thing about I liked and appreciate about Coen Brothers is it's everywhere. It's like they're not limited to a genre, which is nice. I mean, except comedy is in everything for them. I feel like comedy you can find in No Country for Old Men. You can find comedy in The Big Lebowski. Obviously, is a comedy, but they're great for expanding. They're not staying to one genre, which is nice.
Yeah, the one thing why I wanted to talk specifically about J.J. Abrams and Coen Brothers is they're such polar opposites of like how people make movies, and they're very, very famous. Coen Brothers take so much care of like every individual movie. The problem is, it is hard to compare them from a standpoint that the Coen Brothers write, produce, and direct everything themselves, basically. The majority of everything that they're making.
Right.
J.J. Abrams mostly just produces.
Right.
But we had this talk with John Goodman.
Yeah.
And 10 Cloverfield Lane. That J.J. Abrams produced.
He produced it. He didn't make it. He didn't direct it, Mike. He didn't direct it, but he produced it. Yeah.
He produced it.
Brought it into the Cloverfield universe. It was a Bad Robot production, correct?
It was bad? That's yeah.
It was not bad. It's such a good movie. Your hate for 10 Cloverfield Lane is just absolutely insane.
So the thing is, like, you have the movie Barton Fink, which is 1991, I think.
Mm-hmm. Give me
with
a
John Turturro.
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
Main actor in this movie. Absolutely amazing. It is a metaphor. So you watch this movie and you're trying to like read the message in the movie. Is a lot in there. Some parts of that movie you would even think it is like a dream sequences.
Right.
And what I read through an article was that the Coen Brothers never intended to have any direct message out there, that you take it for what it is when you see it.
Okay.
Which is, narratively speaking, difficult to do, but you have to fulfill a movie with like what intentions you have for your own, and that you can interpret it in different kind of ways when you have in the beginning and an end.
Right.
So Barton Fink is really special with giving you certain things, but leaving you with enough that you can interpret it in very different kind of ways. When you have a movie, a J.J. Abrams movie, he's pushing plots so forward in certain ways that he doesn't end up where, because he starts with intending going somewhere and then he just leaves you off. And that is such a big polar opposite of like the work of Coen Brothers and J.J. Abrams, especially with John Goodman.
So,
but hold on. John Goodman was...
But hold on, so J.J. Abrams did not direct 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I know.
In a movie that J.J. Abrams directed, where do you see that?
If you watch a J.J. Abrams movie, if you had anything to do with it, you notice it's a J.J. Abrams movie.
Right.
Every time.
Right.
Yeah. If you produce it, if he just writes it and stuff like that, you go through the list and you look at all those movies, they all have the same kind of nuance to it. It's a J.J. Abrams movie. Even French, the show. And I like Fringe.
I like Fringe.
Yeah.
Fringe is a great show.
Yeah, I only watched the first season or something like that. But
it was good.
like, there's of course a lot of.
He's very sci-fi. He's very sci-fi.
Yeah.
He's very spaceship lens flare. I see that.
Yeah.
Not Michael Bay lens flare. He's not there yet.
He's explosions. Like J.J. Abrams' lens flare.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, especially with the lens flare, getting a headache.
Why do you hate the lens flare? Lens flares are great.
No, the lens flare is really amazing if you have it like
every now and then
integrated properly into the movie.
Right.
Star Trek worked with it kind of because of how he set up his visuals and stuff like that. But doing the same thing
over and over again, it's tiring.
In every one, with this lens, but having the sun reflecting in your vision through glass and everything all the time in every movie, how you set it up that you sometimes not visual. There was this like 10-minute YouTube video that I saw where they made fun of different directors, and they basically made a trailer for the movie Titanic, but every time it's a different director. So they had
so they changed
you remember the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio is drawing Kate Winslet while she's like at that part, it's like J.J. Abrams directing, and there's so much lens flare that all her nudity is then like covered up by the lens flare, by the light of the sun and the light in the room, so that you don't see her boobs and everything. And you know what I mean?
It's all lens flare.
It's all lens flare everywhere and stuff like that. It's hilarious. I know that some people have their own kind of like type of way that you do that, but he does the same style, how he produces with every single movie. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if suddenly the USS Enterprise arrives in the middle of 1942 during Overlord. Yeah? Because it produces all the same picture. And then you can have the excuse to say like it's this one style he has, but his one style doesn't always fit with all of his movies.
Sure. Yeah. So, I see that. I still enjoy J.J. Abrams movies. I disagree with you that
no one can take that away from me.
No one can take that from me. No one can.
I'm trying really hard.
You're trying really hard, but you know what? I love lens flares. Well, no, I don't. I don't love lens flares. But the thing is it might just be what he does his movies about. That might be what interests me. The sci-fi aspect of his the centerpieces for the setting that he creates. Super 8. I really enjoyed Super 8. That setting.